I did not want to make this video about Akash's wife again, who's making him look really bad to the whole world. But she ended up posting some additional clips in response to the backlash. And I'm genuinely curious about the psychology of how to respond to all the hate. And in the beginning, I actually felt some sympathy for her.
It was like making us like really sad and upset. And we were like, wait, so does everyone hate us? Or like, it's kind of hard because the criticism feels so loud that anyone who's ever said anything positive about you, like you just forget.
So up to this point, I checked out their latest podcast, aptly titled Main Character Pod. And I actually felt for her at this stage. I'm like, when people are trying to cancel you, when everyone dogpiles on the internet, it is valid that you feel attacked. And to be fair, a lot of the comments that I had to hide in my last video about her showed me that people actually criticize her unfairly beyond the scope of what I talked about in that last video. But then there's certain mental loops that she goes on that kind of brings me back to not having sympathy for her. And in this video, I want to take a look at how those mental loops happen and what you can do in your life to prevent it. And if you were to offer an apology or to admit a mistake, how to do it properly in case this happens to you in your life. Maybe not on this grand scale, but maybe there's a misunderstanding with your coworker, a misunderstanding in your relationship that you can take from all the crazy stuff that's going on from this one girl and the things that she say and the way that she says them.
Our haters are kind of really fucking dumb because you hating on us gained me 15,000 followers. That's organic followers. And
should we look on Social Blade or do y'all know not how to read?
They don't know how to read. They weren't data analysts like we were.
So instead of taking accountability and actually doing some self-reflection, instead she says, you guys that are hating on me, you're effing dumb. And by the way, the number of times she swears each time she does a podcast is like so unbecoming of a lady. It's so hard to watch.
So it's like, you're just giving us more relevancy. Like, we were literally a pop culture topic and like people couldn't stop talking about it.
This is a thing that a lot of people that maybe have ego problems or slight narcissistic tendencies do. They'll take something that's obviously bad and spin it in a good way. Oh yeah, I was called out for being entitled, but guess what? We got more attention on our podcast, but most of these people are just there to like roast you. None of these people are actual fans. She doesn't realize that her podcast is really just about them. But if you really want to grow a channel, in my humble opinion, you should be talking about your life, but how the lessons in your life helps your viewers. It's always about the viewer. It's about what the other person is getting from this relationship. But their pod is only about them. So the only relevancy they're getting is from viral content being made about them and how entitled they are.
People are stitching videos. People are breaking it down.
Honestly, it's just like, I'm not even going to dignify my haters by...
Honestly, like, it's so fucking lame that, like, I don't even want to dignify you fucking losers. Like just the way you speak, man. It's like, how many people are you going to offend at this point? Like, you're, at this point, hurting your husband's career. You're putting his whole career and your livelihood in jeopardy.
Naming them because it's like, you're so small to me. And if like this is what gives you joy in your life, I truly like, I feel bad for you.
The correct way to do this, right? Like a lesson for you. Take some time to not respond and reflect. And think about, what if they're right? What if my haters are right? What if there's some truth to what they're saying? Maybe there's certain things I can change about my podcast. Maybe we can make this more about how our lives, what we learned, and how our viewers can benefit from the lessons we learned as immigrants who travel this path in America. But instead, she doesn't do any of that and instead just puts the blame on all the haters.
Dude, there is no better feeling than, baby, just quit your job.
Oh, God.
Like, just quit.
The greatest
I got
feeling.
you. Like,
I'm starting to feel for her. I start to feel like she's my friend. She's telling the story about her and Akash starting out. His career hasn't taken off yet and they're still young. And then one day Akash is like, baby, just quit your job. I got you. My career's at a point where I can do that. And it's so sweet. And then she ends it like this.
I could get wet thinking about him saying that again. Someone wants to plan it, reach out to me because I'm not doing it.
What was the thing that
I don't do things. I don't like working.
I don't do things. I don't like working, okay? Stop bothering me. Bro, this is insane. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean. Like,
I do not dream of labor. And I was like, bitch, we have to talk about wedding disparities because I feel like you're in like the upper echelon of the Desi crowd where
okay, so she goes on this tangent about how her wedding wasn't as great, and she's like, "Bitch, you guys had a like amazing wedding." Everything she's saying is aspirational in terms of materialism. You had a better ring. You had this. You had this. But she's not understanding how unrelatable she is to the average American who's struggling right now to pay their bills.
like your guys' parents were like, not like whatever. Your guys is like in this having your like 6-figure weddings, and like the wedding that I put together oh, it must be nice to have a good dad. Like that's what I always think of. I want to talk about like the post-grad depression because
Oh, you were depressed after college? For what reason exactly?
that will hit you harder than anything.
Not as hard as the frat guys hit you. I'm sorry, I should delete that. That's not right.
And then starting to work in the real world and realizing you don't have a trust fund and you're not a Nepo baby.
Oh my god, I started this video thinking it'd be like a nice life lesson video, but this is insane, dude.
Like that's the worst experience I've ever had.
How about being grateful that you graduated and you can actually get a job?
First day of my real like girl job or real woman job or real world job, whatever the fuck I'm trying to say, like I cried. Like it was miserable. And like realizing that you think it's gonna be the rest of your life, you're like, oh my God, like should I just kill myself now? I didn't know what consulting was like gonna be like. I didn't know I was gonna have to wake up at 3 a.m. every Monday, travel to Atlanta, work on this program, Oracle, that I never knew anything about. No one ever gave me training with these misogynistic, fobby Indian bosses that hated me.
I worked in consulting after college, okay? They pay really, really well. They cover all your expenses when you travel. I was an international student, just like you. She's probably got a U.S. citizenship already. I had to work for my H-1B visa. I had to outcompete all my peers. I finally got my job in management consulting. I, as a 20-year-old kid who graduated, was so grateful for my first job. And this is how she talks about it as a fellow immigrant in America. It actually kind of makes me angry.
In a makeshift cupboard because we didn't have real offices because we were...
When you go to an office because you're an outside consulting group coming in, they always give you a separate part of the office or a conference room to work out of. That's perfectly normal.
It was the worst job I've ever had. And guess what? The first week they booked me an extended stay. Excuse me?
Excuse me? An extended stay is like a hotel, but they model it like an apartment, like you're staying there for a week or two long term. So it has a kitchen, unlike a regular hotel room where you can cook and stuff. It's actually quite homey and comfortable.
Extended stay? I have more in common with Blair Waldorf than the person who runs the extended stay.
Blair Waldorf is a fictional character in Gossip Girl who is super rich and entitled. But yeah, this is crazy, man. She's definitely the main character in her story.
And I cried. I called Akash crying. And then he called his cousin. He was like, just he needs to stay with you because she also lived in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I stayed with her for the whole week.
So we know from the very beginning, Akash has been taking care of her, right? Someone who can't even handle herself in a comfortable extended stay.
That was okay. If you're in your 20s and you're listening to this and you're going through this, it's going to be okay. But like try to find someone rich while you're there.
You can't make this shit up. I'm not even making this up. These are clips that she put out. That's insane, bro.
Because they cosplayed it like rotational management program.
The rotational management program, so those of you that don't know, GE had it too, and a lot of the big companies have it. They put you in different groups so you can get experience in different departments. And the idea is that you're basically training to become a future manager. It's a very privileged position.
When am I going to be the manager?
And that was so annoying because it's not like you were working with other kids in like the same group.
No.
Like you were all doing it. So, okay, after those 3 months, then did you become a manager?
No.
These girls are so entitled. You don't become a manager after 3 months. You're just on the manager path. You're already doing better than 90% of grads. Like, this is crazy. And they're complaining about this. That is insane to me.
Okay, so after the 3 months, they were like, now you have to do it 3 months without a buddy because you had a buddy the entire time.
Yeah, so you can train how to manage on your own. Jesus Christ. See, to me, this is pretty insulting, right? To me, as someone who was an international student, I paid extra tuition because I was an American citizen. I worked my butt off in college, total virgin, till I graduated. I finally got a job. I was so grateful for my job. Like, for them to like talk bad about this is, it's like if you're a beggar and you see a rich person throw away nice food and they kick the food down the drain so you can't eat it. They're like, this food is disgusting. And meanwhile, you're starving. That's what it feels like. That's why people hate you right now.
Okay, so I think things that don't work in our marriage is my husband breathing or talking or having any opinion whatsoever, because it actually annoys the shit out of me. Like, who the fuck are you talking to right now? Put that shit back in your pocket. They're dumb.
Exactly.
And I'm so sorry that you even had to deal with that trauma.
Your husband asking for clarification from you is trauma.
Explain something is so
Like, why can't you read my mind?
Also, like, when they say what? Did you not hear me the first time? What the fuck is wrong with your brain?
This clip that they've left up public still actually has Akash replying to it. This is a joke, to clarify for anyone who is a moron, and my wife and I joke with and about each other, to clarify for anyone who is alone or in a miserable relationship. Wow. Even if this is a joke, let's give Akash the benefit of the doubt. Even this is a joke. Would you want your wife to be joking about something like this? Like, what good is this doing to your career?
Okay, so I try to cook like maybe once a week, but since I've been making content and TikToks, that hasn't really been happening. But no, we have like a cleaning lady come once a week. Cleaning is hard and it's really stressful and it damages your cuticles and your nails. If you spend like X amount of money on the nail salon, it's kind of a waste to like fuck up your manicure. That's how we kind of split that. We outsource, which I truly believe in.
So just when you think you can't hate her enough, she posts another reply calling out all the people that hate her. And this is what she says.
At least be a man for yourselves. You're still not a man either way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you're still a little bitch beta boy doing whatever these fucking men tell you. Why are you mad at us? Why are you?
She's talking about all the haters that she sees that are following like Myron and all these red pill guys that are basically bashing her right now in the comments.
Mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense. The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever the fuck he wants about me. I come on TikTok and I make jokes and now you have a fucking problem because I don't have a mic in my hand. One thing that I will say, being canceled by this like people doesn't affect me as much because I genuinely don't respect them. I'm just like, okay, like talk about me all you want, drive traffic to my page. Our YouTube video, our podcast episode that me and Nahal did got 37,000 views, which
there's attention and there's a wrong type of attention, right? You can have 10,000 YouTube subs who hate you, like the Catch a Predator guys, or you can have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube that actually are fans, they listen to you and they trust you, okay? Attention alone is not enough. And in this attention economy, people think that just getting followers and views is going to convert to money. The real money is in the trust in the relationship. You can't rebuild that trust once you piss someone off or you break that trust in your brand and what you represent.
For us is really fucking high because we're just starting out. So I'm like, okay, keep driving traffic. I'm not even gonna read any of the comments. So it's like, what are you doing this for? Like, there's no way you can be happy. Like, you cannot be happy just doing this. And I feel like if you honestly just tried to find God, worked on yourself, went to therapy, you would feel so much better than what these like little cockroaches and parasites try to tell you. Honestly, that's like my honest feedback.
Oh man. See, normally I don't even take sides. I just analyze events, but this is crazy. Okay, let me explain what's going on here. Let's give her credit. She's right. Like, whatever her and husband does is their issue. It's not our problem. If she wants to keep saying things that discredit her and her husband's credibility, that's going to hurt their income, and that is their business, right? Her husband's going to get heckled a lot worse now in live shows. People are going to lose respect when people go on the flagrant podcasts and Akash is there giving them his opinions on relationships. All that credibility is being destroyed right now. And to be fair, they can do whatever they want to do. The problem that I have is that when you're talking like this and you're saying you don't like to clean, you don't work, you find a rich guy, you're basically giving bad advice to young people that are trying to figure out life. And not only that, you're making people feel bad about themselves. So your podcast is supposed to help people, right? Or I assume, or is it just main character? Maybe you're just a main character. But everyone else feels worse when they watch you. So what is the purpose then? The other lesson we learned is that Akash is not fazed by all this, you know? This is something that's been going on for a long time. This has been going on before this became public, right? He's been okay with the situation for a really long time, and he's actually used to it. He's just not okay with the fact that now everybody knows that this is happening. He's supporting her. She's kind of entitled, but he loves her, so he puts up with it. They're going to pass the storm. They're still going to be together. I can tell he's not going to leave her for this, okay? If anything, she's going to leave him because he's just mentally, he can't accept the fact that he's going to leave her. So she's not going to leave him either right now because she's not self-sustaining in terms of her finances. So nothing's going to happen. This is going to blow over in a few weeks. The news cycle will recycle to something else, and they're still going to be together. Now, for the rest of us, what we can take from this lesson, choose your wife very carefully. Choose your wife after you've had some experience dating around and understanding how women are. Go into 1 or 2 relationships, fall deeply in love. See what happens when things are not compatible. When you fall in love with 1 or 2, maybe 3 people, you start seeing how life could be with the other person. But if you only fall in love with one person like Akash has, you don't really know what the opposite is. Akash, he doesn't know, in my opinion, what life would be like with a girl just as hot who has all the positive qualities that Jasleen has. I'm sure she has some positive qualities without all the negative. He's too invested in this. He doesn't know. But when you're younger and you date around, you'll realize, oh, I like this quality about this girl, but it comes with too much baggage. I like this quality. This is a quality that I can negotiate with, and this is a non-negotiable quality. I don't want my wife to be entitled. I want her to be humble. And then you can make a better decision. So you got to go through some relationships, okay? At least 2 or 3, ideally a little bit more as a guy to hunt and realize what you want. A lot of comments said 20 to 30 is too much. Look, I think as a guy in your 20s and your 30s, you should be working on your skill set where you got into situations at least 20 to 30 times where if you wanted to, you could have hooked up with a girl. In other words, you've worked on yourself so much that you're charismatic enough where you have 20 to 30 opportunities where the girl would have slept with you if you wanted to. That's true dating freedom, in my opinion. Okay? Just my opinion. Some of you in the comments said you've only been with 1 person or 2 people or 4 or 5. That's fine. That's your life. This is just my opinion. I think under 5, there's not enough real experience to really know what you really want in a partner, okay? Now, if you've had like 3 partners over 15 years, sure, that's fine. You have a lot of relationship experience. But most of the time, it's just casual relationships for a couple of months. You want to do that over 2 to 3 years where you have like, okay, I've dated like 10 girls in the last 2 years. I kind of know what I want in a real relationship. And some guys don't want a relationship, and that's perfectly okay. In the links below, you'll find resources to help you develop the dating skill set from online dating, from cold approach, and from building your social circle where you have the lead flow that you need to set up dates with the girls you want and to get into any type of relationship you want honestly, so you can experiment and find out who you really are with different types of women. And when you have that dating freedom, eventually when you make that choice for yourself, whether you want to be a happy, single, old bachelor, or you want a family, or you want to be with one person, you're making it from a place of abundance and you're not stuck with something like this. You're not put in a position where your career is going well and suddenly, just like that, it can backfire because of what your partner is doing. If you want more help with this, check out the free resources in the YouTube description. Enjoy.